It was an offseason that we will all remember. And in the final season of the Pac-12 as we know it, comes season 3 of the IT Factory. It will be full of players that are on preseason watch lists, will be on future NFL draft lists. As always, we will take the helmet off of the top players on the West Coast and tap into who they are and why they stand out. I'm Yogi Roth, and welcome back to the IT Factory. Welcome back, or welcome to the IT Factory. I'm your host, Yogi Roth, and I love how this season has gone because we've had some of the top players on the West Coast on this show. And from the moment that this young man decided to come on back west, he was on the list. When can we get him on? I think now is the appropriate time. So let's welcome in today's guest, DJ Uiagalelei of Oregon State, the quarterback, the leader, the young man, a guy I've known, man, I feel like since you were 12 years old. But it's great to see you now in this setting. How are you doing?
I'm good, brother, man. Appreciate you having me on the show, Mr. Yogi. Appreciate it, brother.
Yeah.
See you, man.
Yeah,
Good to see you.
Of course. It is great to see you. I'm really excited about this conversation because I think you have a ton of depth to you. And I want to start there with you, man, because I wonder what it feels like to be you, because it feels like
Sure.
for a long time people have told you who you are, what you're
Mhm.
supposed to be versus your reality. So how have you navigated that, and how do you even describe yourself?
I mean, shoot. I think, man, for me, man, I think I'm defined by the biggest thing. I think defined by Jesus Christ, my heavenly Lord and Savior. I mean, each and every day I live my life, trying to live to the best of my ability, not waste the opportunity that God's given me. Just be thankful for the blessings that He's given me in my life. Like today, man, every day I wake up, just want to thank the Lord for waking me up, be able to walk, be able to talk, be able to speak. Just be able to just look at the little things, look at the positive things in life, man. Because I feel like you can always look at something bad that goes on in your life, something that's like dang, like, oh, my back hurts today, or like, man, I woke up, slept wrong today. But like, at the end of the day, man, like, there's so many blessings in our life that I feel like I know for me, sometimes I take for granted. I feel like we all take for granted just the blessings that God's given us in our life. So each and every day, man, I try to just wake up and just thank Him for the blessings and just try to go out and live each and every day the best of my ability and not waste the opportunity to be able to be a light for my heavenly Lord Jesus Christ.
Is it hard to wake up with that optimism when you've gone through what you've gone through, at least perceptually, in your athletic life?
I feel like it used to a little bit. I feel like some days it definitely took a toll a little bit, but I feel like I have a good circle and I feel like I've learned to deal with it and to learn. I think going through it, going through hardships, going through different, I guess, trials or like adversity a little bit in my life, and I learned how to come out of it on the other side and just how to switch my perspective and how I look at different things. I feel like each and everything in life is a lesson, and I feel like God has a plan for my life, and I want to be able to be focused and be able to listen for that knock on the door that He's willing to open up the door for me. I want to be able to step through that door each and every time. I'll be able to listen to Him and hear Him. So I feel like my perspective has definitely changed since I've been in college and as I gotten older.
Okay, so let's rewind the clock back. We had
Right.
your dad on this show uh,
Mm-hmm.
in the spring, and we got to hear a little bit about what your household was like growing up. But from your
Mm-hmm.
perspective, what was it like for you as a young you in a
Yeah.
competitive environment with their family that a lot of us have come to know?
Yeah, I mean, I think first and foremost, I think I would say I had an amazing childhood. I think my mom, my dad, and everybody that I was blessed with in my life. I had unbelievable parents. With my mom and dad, they were unbelievable. Were there every step of the way with me. I had an unbelievable brother, a lot of family in my life. But I would say, I think the competitive edge started at an early age. I feel like my family's real competitive. My dad has a lot of brothers and just a lot of brothers, and they're very competitive. I know my dad's side of the family's very sports oriented, very competitive. So is my mom's side as well. So felt like growing up, sports was always something that I loved, and it's something I took serious, and I thought that was fun. And I feel like from a young age, it was always competitive, and just playing sports all year round, play every sport as long as I could.
So you get your first offer between like sixth and seventh grade. Did you already prior to that think like, hey, I'm gonna go play in these huge stadiums, or was that initial offer like a wake up call to you of, whoa, this I can go do
Yeah.
this thing for a long time and play in these massive arenas?
Yeah. Honestly, I really didn't know what a scholarship was when I got offered in sixth grade. To be honest, I didn't know. I didn't really know what it meant. I just know that my dad was super excited. He was saying that he didn't have to pay for college. I know that was his only, that was one of his main goals for us, was that he wanted us to get a free education along with my mom. They wanted us to graduate college, get a free education because we wouldn't be able to afford it. So they were like, man, you got to be able to try and get a free education. So when that happened, he was super excited. But I really didn't know what it meant. For me at that age, I really wasn't. I was just playing sports for fun, having fun. I really take it. I took it serious, but I was just having fun playing sports. I wasn't really looking at, oh man, I could play in these big stadiums. I was just worried about like, man, I'm playing against Rancho Cucamonga Pop Warner this week. Playing friends. I'm just going worried about practice on this Tuesday and just having fun with my friends out there. So I didn't really take it that serious until I got maybe like 7th, 8th grade. Then it started like really clicking for me. I started taking it like looking past high school into college and then later on.
When it started to start clicking for you, and it wasn't just the one offer, but dozens and dozens of offers, how did the sport change for you and your relationship with it?
Yeah. I feel like it didn't change too much. I feel like as I got the offers going in, I mean, at the end of the day, it was football. It was a sport that I loved. I still love to this day. I love football. I love everything about it. I love the X and the O's. I love going out there competing. I love playing with my teammates, playing with the brothers on my team. So I feel like I've always loved that. And I feel like offers didn't change too much. It was just a blessing to know that all these colleges were interested in me, that they wanted me to come to their school, and it was just honestly just a blessing. And I just wanted to continue to keep working harder.
I was recently with my broadcast partner Ted Robinson, and we were asked, hey, what's one of your favorite places to go out west from a campus standpoint? And we both looked at each other, and his first words were, love going to Corvallis because it feels like this college town. First time you've been to Corvallis was when? And now that you've lived there for a few months, what has it been like?
Yeah. First time I came to Corvallis was when I stepped foot on campus. When I got here, it was my first day. When I like moved to Corvallis, that's my first day here.
Wow.
And it was cool, man. I loved it every step of the way. Since I've been here for about 9 months now, me and my girlfriend, we live together and we love it. It's a wonderful place. Great people here. It's a chill, relaxed place. You can do some stuff here, but not too much to where you get in trouble. You can go out to Portland. You can go out to the coast. We went to the coast recently this summer, and it's beautiful, man. I forgot. I visited here when I used to go visit the University of Oregon, the Ducks, but I totally forgot how pretty of a state Oregon is. And since I've been here, I've got to explore and see different parts of Oregon, and it's been great, man. I love it here.
I think that's fascinating that you said yes, you're going to go to Oregon State, sight unseen. Same thing happened to Bo Nix. He went to Oregon, sight unseen. So I'm curious, what about your conversation with Jonathan Smith that said, you know what? I don't need to visit. I don't need to take a trip. I don't need 3 days and be wined and dined, but I'm coming.
I feel like right now, I mean, I've been in college for 3 years before coming to Oregon State. I don't really need to get recruited. I don't need to have the dinners, or you don't need to wine and dine me. Like I can see right through all the fluff stuff. Like, man, for me, I knew where I wanted to go. I knew this is the place, talking to Coach Smith, that I wanted to be able to play in. It's the offense I want to play in, and people I wanted to be around. So I told him, like, man, I don't really need to see anything. I just need to have a playbook and football. I'll be good to go. And I didn't really care what the campus looked like or where am I living at. I just wanted to get up here as fast as possible. I didn't need to see it.
I think your core generation is so unique in this sport of college football. And let's just take you. First big NIL deal with Dr. Pepper. Transfer from one school to the other, having great success now at Oregon State. When if you have ever like zoomed out and been like, wow, I lived through a pandemic as a student athlete, I lived through the transfer portal, I lived through NIL, I lived through conference realignment. Like, do you put into context your career at all?
I haven't. No, I really haven't thought about it. And when you say it like that, I'm like, yeah, I forgot about COVID. I mean, it's kind of hard to say. I'm like, yeah, I forgot that when I got to college in January, was there for 3 months, and then I had to go back home because of COVID. And then the transfer portal came apart, NIL. I mean, it's been for like being in college for my fourth season. It's been a crazy road. I mean, thinking like after you saying that, then it's been wild. It's not a lot of people that I feel like that've gone through different stuff like this in college football. It's been a drastic change, but it's been fun, man. I mean, I love it, man. College football, I feel like where we're at right now is it's probably at the all-time high of people with the eyes on college football, I would say.
Speaking of eyes, a lot of eyes on you coming up. Same with Bryce Young, CJ Stroud, guys that you've known for a long time.
Right.
Seeing those guys have their success now at the next level,
Mm-hmm.
and you being in the shoes that you're in right now, I'm curious what the dynamic or the relationship is like. Do you still connect? I'd imagine you do with those
Yeah.
guys. And what are some of those text threads like?
I mean, I always worked out with them. We work out at the same place called 3QB with TK, Adam, John. It's been so we go out there and we work all up together. I know we worked out the spring a little bit every time I come in. And those guys are always because they're doing pre-draft, so worked out with them a couple times. But I mean, for their success, man, I'm happy for them. I couldn't be more happy for them. For CJ, for Bryce, first pick, second pick, it's unbelievable, and I feel like it's unbelievable for their families and their families well. I know their parents are super proud of them. But yeah, I feel like that's not what God had in store for me. That's not my plan. That's not my journey yet. And I'm still riding on my journey right here in college at Oregon State. And I'm just blessed to be able to be here and be a Beaver. So my story's a little different. Testimony's a little differently, but I feel like it's heading in the right direction, man. I'm just trying to follow God's path he has for me.
Yeah, a close friend of mine and one of the greatest coaches, I think, in college football is a guy named Chris Peterson. And he said the one thing he would tell high school seniors when they were getting ready to decide where to go to college is the only thing you can guarantee is that it's going to go much different than how you expect it's
Yeah.
going to go.
Yeah, I
So
know.
here you sit. What I'm curious about is, and we talked about this a little in the spring, but your joy for the craft, your happiness as a man now in life, where does that net out right now?
I feel like I think as I gotten older, I mean, like the success from football or not doing well in football, I don't feel like it doesn't shape me anymore. I feel like I know who I am as a man. Like I'm defined not by football, defined as a human, as how I'm looked at in the eyes of my Creator, Jesus. And I felt like, man, football, I feel like I got back to a space where football's fun again. I feel like I've had a lot of fun this season, in this spring, being here at Oregon State. I haven't had this much fun playing football probably since high school. I talked to a couple people after the San Jose State, some of my close family friends, and I haven't had this much fun just playing football in a long time. So I feel like I'm in a good spot mentally and physically, and just having fun again, man. It's been a true joy for me just to go out there and just have fun again. It's been something I missed.
Let's unpack that a little bit. Why do you think you're having the most fun you've had since you were a teenager?
Man, honestly, man, I tried to think about it. I don't know. I feel free here, man. I don't know. It's kind of the sense of like, man, prayed about it, prayed about it, and just over and over, man, with God, and just I feel like He has a sense of comfort over me. He has His hand over me right now. It feels good, man. Just to be able to play here, play free, and just to be stress free, man. It's been a blessing to be able to hear be Beaver, to play under Coach Smith, Coach Lindgren, and be around the great coaches here at Oregon State, man. It's just I don't know, it's fun, man. Around a good group of guys, good group of coaches, man. It's been fun, man, to be able to play here.
DJ, where do you think confidence comes from?
Man, confidence. I think I'm gonna speak for myself. I think confidence comes from inside of you, but also around the people around you. I feel like for me, man, when there's confident, I feel like when I'm confident in myself, so obviously, I mean, I think when I think preparation eliminates fear, and I feel like for me, when I have a good preparation, that leads to great confidence out there on the field. Like when I have no fear for my preparation, like I know I studied my butt off. I know exactly what I need to do on this 36. I know it's 42% cover one. I got these different odds right here. I know it's the four down front in this scenario in the middle of the field. And I know that, then I feel like I'm very confident in that state. And then I feel like for me, around the coaching staff and the players, and when they're confident in me, and I can see the confidence from when they call plays, from when the scheming around me, I feel like that leads to a sense of confidence as well, especially in a quarterback.
Yeah, there's the reason I asked that is a buddy of mine is this high performance psychologist. He's worked with dozens and dozens of pro athletes. His name's Dr. Michael Gervais. been on this show a couple times, and he would say confidence truly comes from your own self-talk, what you say to yourself. And I love what you said there around your own self-talk. So what is it like now compared to maybe what it was like a year, 2 years, 3 years ago for you, if you could put it into context?
I think I've learned, like, I think talking about self-talk. I mean, for me, man, I talk to myself all day at practice. People might not see it, but I'm talking under my breath or just saying stuff in my head and just telling myself different things to get myself going, to be able to be locked in, and to be able to be focused each and every rep. Just telling myself little things to try and get myself in the right mindset, to be able to be confident, to be locked in. I feel like when I'm at my best, I'm confident, locked in, and just laser focused at the same time. So I try to tell myself, I talk to myself a lot, and I feel like I watched a video about people talking to themselves, kind of like psychologists. And I learned a couple of years in at Clemson, like, man, the more you talk to yourself, for me, I feel like it works for me a lot.
All right, so what are you saying to yourself out there on the practice field?
It just depends on some days. Some days I'm yelling at myself inside of myself to get myself going. I might be a little tired or like, nah, hell no, I ain't tired today. Different stuff to get myself going. Or other days I'm just like, man, just one play at a time, just keep it focused and do the little things right here. I mean, you don't got to do too much. It just depends. It's all types of stuff.
I like it. All right, so let Sean Scheffler know we're going to ask to mic you up for pregame when I call one of your games.
Hey, I don't know. That might not be a smart thing right there. I don't know.
All right, I got you, man. I got you. What was it like when you and your brother were talking to each other? 'Cause you're going to play each other, hopefully, at the end of the year. What was the actual dialogue like growing up, and what do you think now? Like you're literally just right down the road from one another.
No, I feel like we've always been close. I feel like we've gotten closer as we've gotten older. I feel like sometimes when we were little, we used to butt heads a little bit. He might be annoying sometimes, thought he might cry a little too much or get babied a little bit. But me and my brother, we've always been super close and super tight and have a great relationship. Like I talked to him yesterday, a couple times yesterday about the game. How's he doing? I feel like our relationship is far beyond football from just, I feel like me and my brother, man, we're close, man. We're best friends. We talk all the time.
In a unique way, you've been practicing in the shadows of a stadium that got rebuilt.
Sure.
And now it's complete.
Mm-hmm.
Now you get to play in this stadium as a quarterback.
Sure.
There's a world where you could say you were rebuilt. When you ran out in that stadium for the first time as a Beaver, I'm curious what it was like for you.
It was cool, man. Honestly, it was amazing. It was a blessing. The fans were dope. The stadium's super nice, man. You gotta come check it out. It's a really cool place. And it gets really loud. I was surprised. I know a lot of people told me, like different people from Pac-12, like, man, it's probably one of the loudest places we play at. And hearing it in full effect, it was crazy, man. The chainsaw, that thing was dope. Hearing the chainsaw go off on third down, that was pretty cool. But running out here at the home game, it was dope. I got to have my mom here, got to have some of my other family here. But it was a special moment, man, just to be able to just walk out and just see the blessing, get to be able to play football today. And I'm just thankful for that.
There's a lot of quarterbacks who go through what you've gone through. Right? I wrote a book called 5-Star QB, and out of the 134 5-star quarterbacks at the time of publishing, over 50% of them transferred once. 18% transferred twice. Mm-hmm. You're part of that group. What would you say to a quarterback whose initial path isn't going the way that they had hoped?
What I would say is, man, at the end of the day, I feel like don't lose confidence in yourself. I feel like at one point, sometimes the confidence might dimmer, but the biggest thing, man, is have confidence in yourself. Believe who you are. And at the end of the day, man, you got to continue to believe in yourself. Like no one else believes in you, at least believe in yourself. I feel like, and then, man, the biggest thing I feel like is be able to have a great circle around you, a great supporting cast. You don't have to have a big circle, small people that you trust, you believe in, and just to keep God first. I feel like at the end of the day, man, I wouldn't be here in the position I am without Jesus, without my relationship with him and me trusting in him in every step of the way. That wouldn't led me to Oregon State, wouldn't be at the position I am in right now. That wouldn't be in the mental state I am right now. So I feel like that's my 2 cents of what I would say to people that were transferred or kind of in this similar situation I was in a little while ago.
Yeah, it's a simple phrase, but powerful, right? Like just believe in yourself. Did you ever not believe in yourself?
I've always believed in myself, but sometimes, definitely. I think doubt would definitely creep in. I think that's normal. Sometimes, you play a bad game, like, dang, that was like, man, is this really me out here on the field? Because I'm like, man, that does not feel like me sometimes. And I feel like sometimes that happens, man. And you got to go through that to be able to be stronger and to come out on the other side as a stronger person. But yeah, no, I feel like it definitely happens sometimes, you know. But at the end of the day, you got to pick yourself up. You got to keep fighting. I'm a competitor. I'm going to pick myself up each and every time, man. And just continue to keep going forward and just continue to learn from the different adversities in my life and just be able to keep using it as lessons in life and just come out better on the other side.
Curious for you. I mean, we know you're a leader on this team. How are you helping guys navigate controllables like playing versus uncontrollables like what conference you're going to play in?
Yeah, sure. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, that's something that's out of our hands. We can't control what conference we play in next year. And I think Coach Smith does a good job saying that as well, along with players on the teams, that you only can control what you can control. Like, you can't control the outside noise, can't control what other people are saying. Like, all you can do is worry about is yourself. And as long as you're worrying about yourself and making sure yourself is locked in and everyone else on the team is locked in, we'll be all right.
Yeah, I love that because you're reflecting Coach Smith's message. And I think the sign of a great team is when coordinators and the elite players can mirror what the head coach is saying and everybody being on the same page. So I appreciate you answering that. All right, I call this the final five. Last five questions, first thought, first reaction, away we go. Okay? All right. Question number one. DJ, the best advice you've ever received is what?
Oh, best advice I've ever received. Dang, that's a tough one. Golly, I thought these would be easy for 5 questions. Um, uh, mm, I'll probably just say something. It's something just I think I heard probably last week. I've heard it a bunch of times. But I mean, I think I'll talk about it. Just control what you can control. I mean, at certain times in your life, I mean, you only can control certain things. Like, you can't. I think we just talked about it with the Pac-12. Like, control the controllables in your life, and if you're able to do that, I think it'll be okay in your life. You'll be all right.
The worst advice you ever received is what?
Ooh, worst advice. It's been a couple stuff that hasn't been the best advice, but uh, oh man, worst advice one time. Pitched before a game, and then someone told me like, man, I don't even know. One of my old coaches told me like, man, if you eat a lot before you pitch great. I did that. I ate a lot of food, like I ate chicken strips. I played at Big League Dreams, like eating chicken strips, fries, and I was super full going into the game. Pitched probably my worst game ever. Guy hit like 2 home runs off of me. That was probably the worst advice I've ever had.
All right, well noted. Don't eat before a big game. Okay, number three. When you got drafted by the Dodgers, like where were you? How did you find out?
They reached out to me early on, like during the wintertime, springtime, that they had interest in me, and they asked about everything about coming back. I told them no. I told them I was just focused on being quarterback at Oregon State. But then, as it led up to the draft, they talked to me like the night before and told me they're going to take me. And I was like, oh shoot, okay. I didn't really believe it. Yeah. I'm like, oh, they're going to take me. I'm like, okay, we'll see what happens. And honestly, I was just in my house. I was chilling with my girlfriend. I was watching YouTube, I don't even know, probably some like rewind of a game. And then they called me and they said it just took me to the draft. And then, damn, it happened. Like, oh, wow. I'm like, wow, it was crazy. I didn't really think it was actually going to happen. It was pretty crazy. I was just at my house chilling.
If you end up playing in that organization, it's going to be like Jonathan Smith tickets for life.
Yeah, I know.
To the dugout. I love it. All right, number four. The title of this show is The It Factory. And I believe the phrase The It Factor is the most overused and undefinable phrase in sport. But when you see it, you can just kind of tell.
Yeah.
You have The It Factor, DJ. How would you describe yours?
How do I describe my It Factor? I feel like it's something that you can see on the field. It's like you talk about something where you might not, the person has it. I feel like for me, I have it in a sense of confidence and just going out there and just playing free. You could just tell. I feel like that's what it is for me, just confidence and playing free. Probably my It Factor.
And then finally, when you look at the entirety of your life up until now, you got an offer as a sixth grader, you went to a major school at Clemson, ended up transferring sight unseen to Oregon State, and now you're playing free. How would you complete the following sentence? It all comes down to what?
I feel like it all comes down to like I would say it all comes down to the faith you have in the Lord Jesus Christ. I mean, the relationship I have with him and the faith I have in him. I mean, who knows what goes on who knows what my next journey is in my life, what happens tomorrow. But I have no clue, but I have faith that Jesus has the best plan for me, and that's all I can control. It's the faith I have in him each and every day. And I feel like that'll be it.
Well, I'll tell you what, man. I have faith in every time an Oregon State player comes on this podcast. It's an absolute hit. You did it as well. Thank you, DJ Uiagalelei.
Appreciate you, Yogi. Appreciate you having me on, man. It's a pleasure, brother. I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. There it is. QB1 at Oregon State with so much depth and really a ton to share that I think will impact so many of you listeners as you track not only Oregon State's track this season, but all of college football, because a lot of people have taken Oregon State to be their favorite team, me included. I picked them to go to the title game. You know that. Not many people did. So with that said, you know where to find this podcast. Wherever you listen to podcasts, we are there. If you want to watch it, go to pac-12.com/insider or check us out on YouTube as well. Thanks for watching. Peace.